Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata.
Hi, this is Chin's Network, and we're here to tell you about chinchillas. Chinchillas are small, furry, nocturnal mammals for the Andes Mountains in South America. They were hunted to near extinction in the early 1900s for their In the 1920s, a few chinchillas were brought into captivity and ranches were begun to supply the fur trade instead of taking animals from the wild. Over the years, chinchillas have been bred to improve upon their beautiful fur and in time to be kept as pets. The wild colors of the chinchillas is gray, however they are now bred in many colors including beige, black, white, ebony, sapphire, and violet. Among with many crosses of these colors, chinchillas can make wonderful pets. They are the perfect pet for the smaller home or apartment that may not be large enough for cats and dogs. They are typical, gentle, and incisive and love attention. For the most part, they are a hypoallergenic pet. As they do not have the dander the cats and dogs tend to have, and their fur is so dense that as they do not have the dander the cats and dogs tend to have, and their fur is so dense that they do not have any problems with ticks, mitts, or fleas. So usually this is quite manageable. Chinchillas are generally healthy and easy to care for. They do not require any vaccinations and usually do not even require veterinary care. They are also quite clean and do not have odor themselves. If you do not clean their bedding regularly, however, that will stink. Chinchillas are nocturnal, which means that they will be more active in the evening and nighttime hours. However, they can be quite adaptable to most schedules. Just be sure to give your chinchilla time to adjust to a new schedule and new surroundings. He may take a few days to a week or more to feel comfortable in his new home. Be patient with him through this time period and let him get used to you and his new home. The following is an overview of how to care for your new chinchilla and what you will need.
You can let your chinchilla run around your house, but out of the cage, time must be supervised. Pick a time when you can devote your attention to your chin so that he does not get out into something he shouldn't or chew on something he shouldn't. Remember that they love to test everything, and if left unsupervised can eat your woodwork and electrical cords or anything else they can get their hands or teeth on. Chinchillas are very clean animals. They only grooming when you will generally need to help them, which is to give them a dust bath. This is one of the greatest parts of owning a chin because they are very comical to watch take their bath. Chinchillas generally do not need to be combed unless they are being prepared for a show or have matted fur. You can buy dust especially for chinchillas at your pet store or from us. I usually recommend a glass breed pan or a fish bowl. The chin cannot tip it over easily and spill all of the dust. There are also dust houses available which can help keep dust contained in a bit.
It is very important that your chinchilla has fresh water available to him at all times. Change the water in the bottle at least every other day and wash the bottle thoroughly with hot soapy water. Be sure to rinse well. Chinchillas will chew on everything made available to them, so a round-ended water bottle or a bottle that hangs on the outside of the cage is usually best. A glass water bottle will prevent your chinchilla from chewing a hole through a plastic bottle, but just make sure that it is secure on the cage and will not break. Your chinchilla has been fed a pelleted feed especially for chinchillas. small animal food does not have the correct nutrition for chinchillas. If you plan on buying a different brand of chinchilla food, mix the new brand with the food given in your cage packet to slowly switch your chin over to the new food. Any sudden change in diet can give your chinchilla an upset stomach and possibly diarrhea or constipation. Do not buy the food with all of the treats in orange discs. Banana chips, raisins, as that is just what it is, treats.
Hay is very important in your chinchilla's diet. They can be fed loose hay or cubes. The cube ones, like the ones you could buy from the store or any other ones, hay cubes will last longer, and they're less messy and gives chins something hard to chew on to wear down their teeth. Treats. There are many different treats that you can buy, like from the store or from, I would recommend Petco. The following is the list of the treats that are safe for your pet. The best treat is an unsweetened Cheerio or shredded wheat. It's very good for them. Raisins, many chin's favorites. Some do not recommend raisins as they like other. Raisins are chinchilla's favorite treats. Some do not recommend raisins as they are quite high in sugar. The other kinds of raisins, like you could buy the black ones, or there's the big ones, but they do not give them the ones that are too big because they're only a treat. You're not supposed to give too much for them. Fruits and veggies, chinchillas are really not adapted for these types of food, but they can live litters. Chinchillas prefer these dried, but some will eat them fresh. The favorites include apples. They love apples, bananas, and carrots. If you feed dry food, be sure they are dry naturally and do not contain any prevention or sugar.
I recommend you keep your chinchilla in a wire cage, then they will only chew out of a plastic cage. A glass aquarium is typically too small, hard to clean, and will get too hot. A wire cage with a pan that slides out is by far the easiest to clean. Pine or aspen shavings are the safest for litter. Do not use cedar or green shavings. The chemicals in these shavings are too strong for your chinchilla and will make him sick. I also do not recommend the newspaper bedding. Chins will eat any bedding available to them. I have seen chins develop a blockage due to eating bedding that is not recommended. A blockage is anything that stops the movement of food through the intestines and are very difficult, if not impossible, to fix and will generally end up in the death of the chinchilla. Change the litter as needed and must give baths at least twice a week. The size of a cage is up to you. Large ones can be dangerous for some daredevil chinchillas. They have been known to fall off of high levels and get hurt. They can live in a smaller cage with no problems. Chinchillas will run in an exercise wheel. Buy the largest size wheel, 10 diameter, so that your chinchilla will fit in it when he is full grown. You will probably want to secure the base of the wheel to the cage with the wire so that the wheel doesn't move around when your chinchilla runs in it. We do not recommend giving your young chinchilla a wheel right away. When you get them, wait for them to grow and get used to their new surroundings before they get a wheel to help prevent any injuries. Due to the environment that chinchillas came from, they do not need a big variety of food. Pellets, hay, and water are the only things you will need. Nuts are quite high in protein and fat and are not recommended as treats. You can also find treats for chinchillas at your pet store. Just be sure to read the ingredients and make sure it for the chins as sure to read as they cannot have any treats containing honey or corn. Chinchilla feeds generally have the correct amount of salt and minerals that chinchillas need. Some will lick on them regularly and some like to play with them. You can find them at your pet store. Chinchillas are rodents, and all rodents need to chew on hard things to wear down their teeth, which are constantly growing. You can give your chinchilla chin blocks, which are natural pumice stone, or wood chew blocks for small animals. You can find either of these at your pet store. Chins love to chew on branches from apple trees. If you have access to apple trees, be sure that they are not treated with any chemicals, such as pesticides. In summer, when it is warm and humid, your chinchilla can have a bath often, even once a day if needed. In winter, however, a bath too often can lead to dry, itchy skin. So once a week is usually sufficient. If your chinchilla first starts to look oily, which can happen after being held a lot too, it's time for a bath. Put about 1 or 2 inches of dust in the dust container and put it in your chin's cage. He will roll around in it until he feels he is clean. I will usually leave the dust in the cage for 15 to 30 minutes and then remove it. If left in the cage, your chinchilla will mostly decide to use his bath as a potty, and then you will have to throw out the dust and wash the pan. If there are droppings in the bath, they can be picked out and the dust can be used a few more times. If he decides to urinate in his bath, it's time to dump it and start over.
Chinchillas can take the cold better than the heat. Better assured they do not get overheated. Particularly in the summer, temperature above 80 degrees, especially with high humid, can kill a chinchilla within a matter of an hour. Do not keep them outside and do not place them directly in front of a window or vent, as the draft can also make your chinchilla sick. If the chinchillas are in front of a window, they can get overheated. If they are in front of a vent, they could cool too much and they'll die from being too cold. And that's all we have for Chinchilla's video.